efforts to combat local human trafficking.
Oh shit!
Serious issue. And you want to go back like 20, 25 years. I'm like, man.
In Western New York, like there's
Western New York, a little bit. I want to say maybe a little bit south too, a little bit down south. I can't totally remember. Again, I really can't remember, but I know she's. I know what her name is. I didn't know if it was proper to like name her name, but her name is Kelly Galloway, and she's doing really great work through a ministry, I believe. It's been a while since I checked in, but she was not a bad person, but I mean, because we were kids. But again, I had pent up stuff from like being a kid, going, man, come on, what are you doing being successful? What am I doing? You know, looking at myself, and I go back. It's like you see what. You don't really see it, but you're a bit envious because of what you're missing in comparison to them.
Right.
Because it took me to step back and go, wait a minute. You're looking at stuff that she's able to do that you haven't done.
right.
You might not do the same thing. Your success might not be the same in the same field or in the same efforts, but okay. What has she done that you haven't done?
Yeah.
And that also goes back to the self-awareness. Folks don't have, either they will have it or they won't have it. They eventually have it sooner or later, that self-awareness to realize, yo, I'm hating on somebody because they have something or they've done something that I haven't done. Where do I need to fix myself? Where do I need to put forth more effort?
Yeah. How do I get better?
Yeah, where do I find the motivation to get better myself, and and eventually have haters on your own, because you will succeed. I mean, haters will be everywhere. Haters are like insects. They're like they'll come out of the woodwork. They'll show up sooner or later, whether you have success on a grand scale or personal success or success in your neighborhood, success in your family or whatever. It's just a common thing. It's a part of life. It's an unfortunate part of life. I mean, heck, I'd like to think at this point in time, I've definitely got haters. I might not know who they are. Some names or faces come to mind as I sit here, and I will not name those guilty parties, but I'm pretty sure I'm damn near certain. Yeah, I'm gonna take a page out of the Maury playbook and be like, I'm 1,000% sure I got haters.
Let me ask you this. Knowing or feeling,
and I'm not a celebrity. Again, I'm not a celebrity. I'm not popular, but I'm pretty sure I do.
And actually, I do want to talk about that as well, because you've been in commercials and shit, and you do
just
that.
One so far.
Man, that's enough.
And hardly anybody's. Not a lot of people have seen it. Whatever.
But you doing what you're doing, and feeling that if you do have some haters and whatnot, does that motivate you to even thrive for greater success?
At this point in time, I'll say yes. I haven't seen any direct hate. I guess I've kind of had the mindset that I do have, some guilty parties, if you will, out there, and it might sound weird. I kind of just use my imagination, mostly because I don't believe I'm reaching like a wide audience. Whether we're talking about the one commercial I've done thus far, that I don't think is airing a whole lot, and it might not air very much until hockey season starts back up.
Right.
On a side note, what Bryce is alluding to is a Geico commercial I did earlier this year, where it's a commercial within a commercial. And it's a lot of people around this area realize the footprint, or hopefully they're aware of the footprint that Geico has as an employer, as a sponsor, with many different things in the Western New York area. They have a partnership, a sponsorship of the Buffalo Sabres, of the hockey team. And I say it's not airing a whole lot right now because the hockey season really hasn't started.
Right.
Which will start back up towards or later this year. Hockey season kind of coincides with, or the start of it kind of coincides with the start of the
basketball season.
Basketball season, more so the basketball season, not necessarily the football season, but yeah, more so the basketball season. So later this year, it'll probably air more because it like I said, it's a commercial within a commercial, or that's the way it's intended,
right?
And the I guess you could say the two stars of the commercial are in local Buffalo media. One of them is Marty Baron, who used to be a Buffalo Sabre. He was a goalie. Or he during his career, he was a goalie for the Sabres. He's still popular around here, still lives in this area, obviously. He does the MSG local broadcasts of the Sabres games. He does the pre and post game shows, also the intermission editions of the broadcast or whatever, along with Brian Duff, who's obviously lives in the area too, and works for MSG doing the Sabres broadcast. So again, it's probably going to show more during hockey season. Obviously, those people who are either at the games or they watch the hockey on TV will see the commercial. They kind of run it every now and then during the daytime. I've had some friends be like, "Yo, I was just, I was like in my doctor's waiting room, or I just happened to be watching TV during the day, and I saw you, whatever." And I was like, "Cool, that's great, that's great." But again, I don't think that commercial reaches that far and wide, and I know a lot of people haven't. Not a whole lot of people have heard my audio podcast that I started doing earlier in the year, or seen the few video editions that I've put out. I will just take a quick moment and just say, those of you who are listening, the Talking Twins podcast, the first episode is on its way out. Video episode between me and my co-host Alex Schmidt. If you're listening, shout out to you. We've got a video podcast that we're going to be putting out in the near future. But yeah, just shout out to Alex Schmidt, and again, it's Talking Twins podcast on YouTube.
That's what's up.
We shot our first video. We shot our first footage and stuff last weekend, but again, we just got to put it together and just get it out there. We got to get the content out there. But, so yeah, we're not reaching, or I'm not even reaching a lot of people, but I have it in my mind that I am.
Yeah.
And it's not to have a big ego or to fluff myself up. I've never really naturally been that kind of person. But I again use my imagination, if you will, to, I guess, for lack of better terms, pretend that I do, and use that as motivation.
Yeah.
To get better, or because nothing's going to be perfect, but just to motivate me to put out something decent. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whether it's, I use that motivation when I work out. And I kind of always have. I always just kind of had that kind of mindset that a lot of professional athletes have, where there's always someone better than me out there. And you talk about these GOATs out there, past or present, these greatest of all time, past or present, who likely had that same mindset. Yeah. They were just like, people call me, the GOAT every day, every hour. I mean, now it's on social media. They can see it every day, every hour, every minute, that people think, he or she is the GOAT, but they got it in their minds that there's always somebody better than me out there, or that will be better than me.
And it's crazy, like, especially when athletes do it. Cause, like, think of like the superstar athletes. Like, what keeps Tom Brady going?
Right.
Like, Tom Brady has won, 6 championships now?
Yep. Played for more.
You know what I'm saying?
He's played for more championships. It's just the fact that he didn't win those. But he's got
6 rings.
Yeah.
And he's probably the greatest franchise over the last 20 years.
Sure.
Man got a supermodel wife.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Made tons of money in life. Got tons of different business ventures.
I will say, he's probably, not the country, he's probably content with the wife. I don't think he needs anything better than that.
Right. Yeah. He got a supermodel, man.
I think he's all right.
Got a supermodel, man, and turned into a housewife.
Him and his family, they're all right there. But yeah, with the competition, though.
But like, what makes that man want to go out and continue doing what he's doing?
It's
like, what is the motivation? Is it just a competitive nature in him?
It's probably the competitive nature. I don't necessarily see him as an alpha male, because that's a different kind of breed. He has the self-confidence. He appears that, he's good at what he does, or he's been good at what he does.
He's the GOAT.
Yeah. I think that at this point in his career, he's obviously one of the old men, if not the oldest in the NFL. And he's found motivation in that to be like, yo, I'm 40 or I'm past 40. I can't remember how old he is.
I think he's 41.
Okay, yeah.
41 or 42.
He's up there. There are quarterbacks maybe as good as he is, maybe as far as physical talent might be better than him, more capable of doing more things on the field.
Right.
And they're half his age.
Right.
But I think perhaps he's found that motivation in the fact that, I'm twice these kids, literally to him, kids' age.
He's literally old enough to be a lot of these players' fathers.
Yeah, absolutely. Hell yeah. But he's got that motivation there going, okay, this is a young man's game.
Yeah.
He probably looks in the mirror and goes, I have no business out here doing, what I'm doing. Like, he's seen quarterbacks come and go. Hell, when he started playing, there were quarterbacks, got drafted before him, obviously. He was a 6th round pick, I think it was.
Wasn't it like the Brady 5 or Brady 6 or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. He's seen quarterbacks, get drafted, same draft class as him. They're obviously gone. He's played. He's even like 5 years in his career, he's seen quarterbacks get drafted. 10 years in his career, quarterbacks get drafted, and they've come and gone.
Right.
And he's just like, hey, there's always somebody out there better than me or will be better than me. So he's got that motivation there. I think that, yeah.
I think eventually with him too is when he completely
still
loses
suck.
it.
No,
like when he completely loses it, where it's to the point where he's like a detriment to his team. I think that's eventually where he kind of
that's gonna be a tough pill to
when
swallow.
he hangs it up. Yeah,
tough pill to swallow.
Because even now, like he's still Tom Brady. He's still awesome. But in terms of like his physical capabilities, the man can't throw the ball no more than 25 yards accurately down the field.
I'm gonna probably catch some hell for this. If anybody can find me on social media, I'll say that. But I'll probably catch some hell for this from some Patriots fans that. And Madden shouldn't be the Bible, but whatever his Madden rating is, I think might be padded.
Yeah.
Because he's Tom Brady.
Hell yeah.
But he's not highest rated, for example, on Madden. Because he's not as good as, like, let's say Mahomes,
or Aaron Rodgers, or Andrew Luck.
Right.
I think with him, though, is that he's been in the league for, 20 years now. And he's seen everything. Yeah. Like I don't think there's anything you can do to surprise Brady.
Sure.
So his preparation for games and shit, like it's got to be on another level.
Yeah.
And there's no defensive scheme you can throw at him. There is no type of blitz he hasn't seen. There's no type of coverage he hasn't seen. Right. He's been in every situation you can think of. Mm-hmm. So a lot of this shit is just like run of the mill for him.
The funny thing is he could totally shit the bed this season.
Right.
And he's still like for example, when he does retire and he will be, Hall of Fame eligible, everybody sitting there is gonna be like, why the fuck are we voting for him? Like why do we even have to bother? That's what I mean. That's
probably gonna be the shortest
Like you could totally
conference.
He could shit the bed the next 2 years if he plays, and still you get the ballot, and you'll be like, "Why am I even bothering?"
Right? It's not even a question.
No shit.
Yeah, it's not even a question. There's no discussion when they have the Hall of Fame meeting about who should get in. Yeah, it's literally no discussion you need to have about Brady.
They probably already have his jacket size. They probody had his jacket size.
They already got his bust made out.
Yeah, they already. All that shit.
Brady is good, man.
Already. So I'm not saying he's wasting his time right now, but it's that motivation, that competitive nature in him. There's nothing he hasn't seen, and it's going to be a tough pill to swallow for him to be like, okay, I'm going to stop. You just kind of hope it's not. He's in a universe, a way of life, a sport where you just hope it's not too late for him to realize, I should probably hang it up.
Yeah, because one hit can change everything. Absolutely. One hit can literally change your life.
Oh man, and I'm ashamed that I can't remember who it is, because he's a Raven, and I'm on your show. I should know better.
Shout out to my Raven.
Yeah, who who was it? Who was that rookie that killed that dude from the Jaguars?
Oh, my man,